We've reached one of the more infamous kid disappointers of the Famicom era. Kidou Senshi Z Gundam Hot Scramble lured children in with promises of giant robot action. And what kids got out of it was less hot scramble and more hot mess. To give the 30-second overview of Gundam, it's the cultural equivalent of Star Wars, a sprawling sci-fi epic that spawned a multimedia empire that's popular the world over. Z Gundam was the second Gundam television series, and there's a good argument that it's the one that made the franchise popular. Masanobu Endo, creator of Xevious and Tower of Jiwaga, saw the show and wanted to make it into a video game. Namco at that time didn't want to make licensed games, so he left the company and developed it on his own before taking it to Bandai. He made an initial batch of 1,000 prototype carts that were distributed to school children for feedback. They didn't like the game, so Bandai quickly reworked it into its new form, which is the awful version that wound up getting distributed. Those prototypes are still out there, and they go for quite a bit. I also think they're a better game. Not good, just better. The game that was released consists of 16 stages, all with exactly the same structure. You start out flying over a planet and have to shoot down a certain number of enemy fighters. Then you fly up into space and do it again. Then you enter some structure and move around it very similar to Thexter until you locate a reactor. You blow up the reactor and that ends the stage. In the flight sections, the B button fires your rifle, which is the tube sticking out the front, and the A button boosts you forward at high speed. Enemies just pop in as those circles, you shoot at them, they shoot back at you, and you repeat. On later stages they do get to be a bit fast with how they'll pop into view suddenly and just start firing. If you're the kind of person who's entertained by seeing a drawing of your favorite robot turn up, there's an absolutely huge quantity of mobile suits. The game actually starts out with a credits sequence that shows them all, and it goes on forever. Some of the space sequences end with a battleship appearing that you have to shoot a few times before you can continue. But usually you'll just fly into something. Once inside, the B button shoots, and the A button both jumps up into the air and turns your robot into a fighter ship. I'll be honest, I haven't seen all of Z Gundam yet, but turning the robot into a spaceship really doesn't feel like Gundam. These crates can contain health or just increase your score, and there are 2 power-ups that you can pick up. The shield protects you from a few shots, and the rifle has a penetrating beam. When you reach the reactor, it doesn't do anything until you shoot it. Then it always fires off the same spread of bullets. It's fly up, shoot, and then dodge between the bullets before taking another shot. And that's literally everything to playing the game. You have 1 life, but you can continue forever. It really doesn't take long until repetition sets in on this one. The prototype version had you fight actual formations of enemies, and every stage was solely to wipe out the formation that you were fighting. That wound up feeling better than the constant random enemy spawns. And for the robot fans, it let them really get a good look at what they were fighting. Weirdly, this was one of the games selected to be remade for the GBA as part of the Famicom Mini line. Despite being awful, it was a big hit for Bandai. Of course, that was because anything with Gundam on it would sell at that time. There are a lot of Gundam games out there. By my count, we're going to see 11 more of them before we're done. And I've probably missed a few. But if there's one thing that's been consistent about Gundam games, it's that you're setting yourself up for disappointment when you buy one. Stay away from Hot Scramble. You're not going to enjoy it.